Really, Hino? You're making us wait 2 months. Again? What's up YouTube? LucasTV719 here, fresh off March's edition of Inazuma Walker. But this time, instead of Outer Code, we got our second trailer for Ares. Now, this trailer, while hype, of course, had a lot of information we already know from Outer Code and a couple of things that we had easily predicted based on clues here and there. In any case, before we really get down to the analysis, let's go with a quick review of the trailer, shall we? As we know, Ares focuses on the football frontier, which is back in full swing, and the main point of this trailer is to review some of the teams we want to keep our eye on. We're starting, of course, with Seisho Gakuen, Heizuki's team, and it's confirmed that Kido is actually part of Heizuki's team, as many of us predicted. Of course, we have Heizuki, and it shows him and this girl who kinda looks like Fuyuka. I'm gonna leave more of that towards the analysis portion of this video. Next, we have Zeus. We have Afari and what seems to be some new members. I'm guessing they're the new first years to take over the third years that left. Next, we have Tegaku. Tegaku's pretty much the same as an Outer Code. Fudo's in team as probably a strategist, Kageyama's the coach, Sakuma's the new captain, and our reinforcement committee member is Kazamaru, who might be sort of a second in command. Next, we have Hakuren. We got the Fubuki Bros and Somioka Ryugo. Also, we actually have Nai joining, and it turns out her father that we saw in Outer Code is not the coach, but actually the sponsor of the team. Speaking of sponsors kids joining, in Eisei Gakuen, we got Kira Hiroto coming down with a grand intro. We also see that Kiyama Tatsuya is the captain of Eisei Gakuen. I'm going to talk a bit more about their sponsor during the analysis. Next, we have Kiro Kawaseishu with another prediction coming true, with Goenji joining his old team once again. Next, we have a new team known as Tonegawa Tosen. The main guy shown there is a guy known as Sakanoe Noboru, who is known as the Miracle Libero. And behind him we see their mystery goalkeeper. But we've seen those gloves before. They're Daisuke's. It's obviously Endo. Why they're keeping it all mystery-like, I don't know. I guess it's just to build up hype. And finally we come to Ote Tsukunomiya, where we see Nosaka Yuma and his team pretty much curb stomping Seisho Gakuen. It's really weird. Again, let's wait for the analysis to really get into him and what we learned about him. And lastly, we have Raimon getting beaten by Seisho as we saw in Outer Code 1 and the first trailer. And of course, as they're losing, we have Asuto, our main guy, the boy chosen by the sun, raising the spirits of his team. And with that, the rest of the trailer, we go to the title card, and then we basically go to different teams highlighting their important characters. It's much like the constellations from the original trailer. After that, there is a clip of who I believe is going to be the evil guy. I'll get to that and we'll focus on that very important bigly during the analysis. But of course, that's just our quick overview of the trailer. And this wouldn't be an analysis video until we get to the nitty gritty. So let's get to it. Let's start with an aesthetic change with the Football Frontier logo, which has been completely revamped from that bland poster it used to have. First piece of real analysis we can do is the connection Heizuki has to this girl right here. A lot of people are saying she looks a lot like Fuyuka, which is an idea I immediately dismissed. But after remembering that Heizuki does have a connection to a guy who looks a lot like Kudo back from the first trailer, I'm like, it might work. I mean, she does look a bit like her. Again, I'm not too sold on this idea, but I can see where it came from. Now, the fandom is a bit torn on this, because some people are seeing this as Heizuki being another Kido and Haruna, or another Goenji Yuka scenario going on here. But without much information, I'm not going to jump the gun. At least this sort of gives Heizuki a bit more of a story, a bit more of a drive of what he's doing, rather than just winning the championship. So I'm glad and excited to see what they're going to do with this. The next thing is Zeus' sponsor, Godful. And I'm just going to go right ahead and say what we're all thinking. Is this a parody of Red Bull Inazuma? Is it? I mean, I get it, okay. Alright, let's move on. My next big question pertains to the sponsor on Eisei Gakuen. Back in Outer Code Episode 2, Hitomiko pretty much made a deal with her dad that if we put Kira Hiroto on the team, you'll sponsor us, okay? Now, during the same episode, he said that he's sponsoring Seisho under Kira Star Pharmaceuticals. So I'm wondering, where does the alien come in if he's sponsoring them? Is it just another branch of his financial group or something? I'm not exactly sure, but I mean, I guess that's their sponsor. And between the sponsor being called Alien and Eisei Gakuen's logo's obvious connection to the Alien Academy logo, you can tell they haven't forgotten Season 2. And they're putting a few Easter eggs here and there for us to look out and like a little nod to us fans. It's really nice touch. Before I talk about the really big things that really caught my eye in this trailer, I want to make a quick mention about Kidokawa and Goenji being there. In previous videos, I had predicted either Kidokawa for Goenji or Okinawa. Now my basic reasoning for Okinawa was basically, Goenji was in Okinawa when he saved Tenma. So I'm guessing in this new timeline, Go isn't exactly canon. So he's in Kidokawa now, that's great, he's with his old team, it makes sense. So let's get to the real things that happened in this trailer. Now while the trailer did include stuff on Teruhu Hakuden and Tonegawa Tolson, they were pretty small things that really don't have much you can dig into. On the other hand, they did have stuff on Ote Tsukunomiya and Nosaka Yuma. What I first want to focus on is what he says when you first see him. Listen. Now any long-time fan of Inazuma doesn't really need to know Japanese to understand that quote. Basically he's saying, let me show you the power of Ares. Now there's the title being dropped again, Ares. We don't exactly know what this Ares is. We've heard it as some sort of government project, with the Ares Rehabilitation Project being the reason Kageyama got his job back, and also like Ares at the end of the first trailer where the Kudo looking guy says the power of Ares, well the scales of Ares could change history. So it sounds like some sort of power when you put his quote into this. So the question is, does he and his team have this power? Because based on how they're saying it throughout these two trailers, it sounds like it's a power that's sort of obtained by winning the Football Frontier. So I'm thinking he's saying like, my team is good enough to obtain this power and we're going to show you why through this match. After defeating Seisho, Yuma says, with my hands, I want to change the world. Now the thing is, what does he exactly mean by that? Does he mean the power of Ares can change the world? Because this is a thing that's actually been said several times. In the first trailer, the Kudo looking guy did say the scales of Ares can change history. And now in this trailer, it's actually said twice. The first time by him just now, and actually later at the end of the trailer, the guy who we're all speculating is the evil guy says the scales of Ares could change Japan. No, the world. So it makes us think, what exactly is this power that can change so much? And it seems like he's risking a lot to do this, because after the game he's back near a sink washing off, and we see that he actually has a connection to Raimon's manager Anna, and she's like, is that really your soccer? And I couldn't pick up what he says after that, but basically from what he's saying and how it seems like he's risking a lot and changing the way he plays soccer just so he can achieve this power, so he can do something good with it. So we've got a lot of things on Nosaka this round, so it's really making it different on who is he and what he's doing. Of course, this relationship with him and Anna is causing some fans to complain and saying it's another Hido Haruna ripoff, but I don't see it. Again, it's too early to judge anything. Side note, his buddy Nishikage apparently that we saw in trailer 1 is his goalkeeper. So, that's interesting. let's finish this analysis with the evil guy I just mentioned. Now, other than his design, which is very similar, in my opinion, to the headmaster from Don Ball Senki Wars, we don't know much about him. But from his appearance, we can assume he's probably a very high standing in the junior high soccer world. And I don't really know what he and his assistant say beforehand, but his last words are, "With the scales of Hades, I can change Japan, know the world." So he knows what Hades is and what it is. And a thing I want to mention is you can see the half moon slash circle next to the screen when it introduces him is the same logo for the company that's sponsoring Nosaka's team, Gecko Electronics. So my suspicions is that he runs Gecko Electronics, and through Nosaka he wants to gain the power that the Scales of Hades can give him, and through that he's going to do whatever evil plan he shall do. That's my current theory on who he is, what he's doing, and what's his place. It's a very quick theory that I'm doing now. It'll probably be debunked with the next trailer or something. Who knows? But that's my current theory. With that, we've reached the end of this analysis video on the second trailer of Inazuma 11 Hades no Tenbin. So, tell me what you thought of some of the points I made. Do you think some of them are worth mentioning? Especially the last theory that connects Nosaka and the evil guy. What do you think? Put your opinions in the comments down below. If you have anything else you think I missed out on talking about in this trailer, again, in the comments down below. I'd love to hear it because I can't see everything. You guys probably maybe saw something I may have skipped out on and not seen something. So, as usual, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you really like what I do here, you could consider subscribing. That helps me out a lot. I'm Lucas TV 719. I'll see you all later.